All right, joining me now for more on this from Washington, D.C. is William Lawrence. He's a professor of political science at the American University. Thanks so much for joining us. These spying allegations and claims of other hostile acts, why is there so much mistrust between these two?
Well, as you said, that piece said so wonderfully, they've been fighting since independence of the two countries, with land claims across ill-defined borders going both ways. There was a war in 1963. They had frozen diplomatic relations like now from 76 to 88. The borders have been closed since 94. And this is mostly revolved, as you said, around the Western Sahara conflict and the Moroccans' desire to annex it and have the international community recognize that, and the Algerians' desire to have an independence movement, which it sees as very close to its own independence movement from the France and anti-colonial movement, succeed and get international recognition as well. What's prompted the latest dust-up was that the ceasefire ended last November between the two sides, and a low-grade war began. And then in December, Morocco was very emboldened by the Trump's administration's inclusion of Morocco in the Abraham Accords, which led, among other things, to the Israeli prime minister coming this month and claiming that Algeria was colluding with Iran and Hamas against Morocco and creating regional instability. And one of the things Lamamada said in his speech was, never has an Israeli minister come and criticize one Arab country on the land of another Arab country. And some of the accusations are getting quite crazy. Algerians accusing Morocco of lighting wildfires, and this other accusation about Iran and Hamas. These are sort of getting into the land of fake news, but there are real problems between the countries, a low-grade war that's starting up again. So hopefully cooler heads will prevail.
I mean, do you think that this risks complicating diplomacy in the wider region?
Absolutely. Morocco, in this emboldened position I talked about, has had recent diplomatic feuds with Spain, with Germany, with the EU over not fully recognizing its claims in the way it wants. And the fate of the Sahel rests in large degree on what Morocco and Algeria do in supporting the Sahel countries in dealing with their terrorism issues and their instability issues. When Morocco and Algeria are cooperating on intelligence, on security with the G5 and other things, the Sahel stabilizes. When they don't, all the problems get worse, including the migration problem. And right now we're seeing an increase of migration across the Med due to what's going on in Tunisia and in Libya, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of the migrants come up through Algeria and cross into Morocco and try to make it across. So all of that destabilizing for Europe, and Turkey, of course, knows that issue well on the other side. And so just as Turkey's trying to stabilize things in Afghanistan, for that problem, Morocco and Algeria need to work things out for the migration issue as well.
Sure. OK, William Lawrence, Professor of Political Science at American University. Thank you.